What's up, everybody? Good morning. Happy Friday. This is the morning show here on Stock Market TV. I'm me. JC is him. Strazza is also him. We got a good show for you today. We got a lot going on here on the show, on the channel. We will have Jeff Mackey on the show to talk Netflix earnings in a little bit. We'll have Mr. Kenny Glick on the show. Unfortunately, no Louis today. We'll have to wait to talk to Louis next week. There's just too much going on. I think he's in too fast of a market to make time for us right now. There's too many crypto trades. He's too busy. So bummer for us, but we'll talk to Louis next Friday. Chat, are we all good? Everybody? Yes? Having a good day so far? The day is young? Cool. Let's go. Hit the button. Bring on JC. Where he at?
Oh, good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing great. How's the hangover, Spencer?
Don't have a hangover. Didn't drink really yesterday. Just a couple of those shots, but that was.
First of all, they're not shots. I
Yeah,
noticed you doing that. We were drinking soju at the Korean barbecue joint last night, and he's just ripping them like shots. Just like, you could just.
I don't actually like it. I don't. The rice liquor doesn't do it for me. So I just threw it down.
What'd you think of the show? So Spencer Israel, part of the Peanut Gallery yesterday for the recording of a Compound and Friends podcast. Is it out? I think it's out.
Yes, it goes out on the audio at 5 a.m. and the video I think is like a half hour ago. So
why don't you put www.getthecharts.com. Right? Don't forget to include the www. If you're interested in the charts that we spoke about yesterday with Josh Brown and Michael Batnick on the Compound and Friends, Spencer Israel there, part of the Peanut Gallery, Phil Perlman, shout out to Rob Passarella, also in the Peanut Gallery. CJ, got to meet CJ, a Cuban from Miami who played baseball. Fun fact, shout out to CJ.
Yeah, it was it was a good time. Having watched and listened to the show many times, it was fun to see it from the Peanut Gallery, as you say.
So. And then there's the link to the show if you guys want to listen to it. Good time. Michael and Josh and I have known each other for a long time. Good friends for many years, so always a good time. But one of the things that I noticed, Spencer, is the lack of euphoria. Michael at dinner last night was talking about how he's not getting any calls from friends or clients about crypto. I found that interesting. I guess it shouldn't be all that surprising considering that speculators are the most net short Bitcoin ever. So the fact that speculators are not calling them to buy crypto, friends and colleagues and clients, I guess it's not all that surprising. Not really a lot of euphoria throughout all my meetings in the city yesterday. What do you think, Spencer?
Yeah, the comment that he made about the lack of client calls around Bitcoin was interesting. But I like to juxtapose a few comments from the show. I like to juxtapose yesterday with your last appearance, which was in January. Last time you guys, and I think you felt this way too. You said we agreed too much, right? And you didn't like that. Yesterday there was a lot more of the banter, a lot more fun disagreement, shall we say. I also at the beginning of the episode, they talked about kind of this thing that we've been talking about too, which is the fact that people get scared at all-time highs. And that concept is really resonating with me these past few days. It's like we're not at all-time highs like all the time, you know what I mean? But like we're there now. So here's what I think. I think if you're watching the show and you're scared that we're at all-time highs, I would love for you to email us and maybe we do something and bring you on the show, or if you're not comfortable with it, I don't know, we'll figure it out. but I'm going to put our email up on the screen right now, and I would just love to hear from you, basically, because they talked about it yesterday on the show, and I want to. I sympathize with that mindset, right, about being scared at all-time highs. So
we're grateful that people are like you, who are bad at math, and get scared.
But Josh and Michael sort of like they also like understand that, right? Like it's a very human feeling to think that. So that was a good discussion. As always, you guys have a great time. It was a great discussion. My last comment, I had a comment on one of Josh's charts. I wanted to run it by you. At the end of the episode, Josh brought up a few charts. One of them was the IBB, and his point was that the IBB is horrible, right? Or has been horrible for like a decade. And my question to you, after thinking about it, was, is it a waste of energy to look at biotechs at the index level? Because it is just such an idiosyncratic space with random trials and failures. Sarepta this morning, somebody died in one of their trials, so the stock is down like 20%. It's just so random. You know what I mean? So is it even worth the energy to look at an index of these companies when they're all going to do what they're going to do, and it's going to happen at the snap of a finger?
I think it's a function. I think it's a function of small caps. I did bring the biotech chart with me here today. We have markets moving. What do you say we do a little state of the markets, and then we'll dive into biotechs? What do you say?
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, markets are moving. We got the Dow up 70 points this morning. That's 44,800, just under 44,800 for the Dow. S&P 500 futures up 6 handles, 63.46 for the S&P. NASDAQ 100 futures pretty much flat this morning, 23,006 and a quarter. 30-year bond futures up almost 0.5%, 112.5 there. Crude oil making moves up 1.5%, 68.5. Copper also up 1%, 556. Gold up 0.2%, 33.66. Silver up over 1%, pushing 39, with the VIX down this morning to 15.5. Over in funny money land, you got Bitcoin flat this morning, 119,400. Ethereum continues to make moves, up another 4% today. Wow. Breaking through 3,600, highest level since the beginning of January for Ethereum. Also, down the cap scale, Solana also acting well, up another 2% on the day, pushing 180. That brings, and don't forget, Ripple, monster day yesterday. It was up like 15%. Up again, Ripple up another percent. WorldCoin this morning up almost 7%. And that brings the total crypto market cap, Mr. Spencer Israel, 3.85. 3.85 trillion.
I rounded up. I rounded up 3.9.
Yeah, got almost to 4, pushing 4. Pushing 4. Total crypto market cap making new all-time highs. Not seeing the euphoria out there, which is really, really interesting. Getting some chatter here. People talking about JC's assertion that crypto having a market cap of less than 4 trillion makes it inconsequential. We can stop referring to crypto as funny money. It still is. Fun coupons.
It's always going to be funny money.
It's always going to be funny. Right? Fake internet money. Shout out to the fun coupons. Yeah. Making new all-time highs. Took some profits today, as a matter of fact. I'm going to use that money and dump it into real estate. That's terrible. I try to remind myself that the lake house is not for investing purposes, but to make my family happy. Make memories, investing in memories. Is that, you guys think it's a bad idea? Sold some crypto this morning to buy a lake house. Good idea or bad idea? I guarantee you it's a bad idea for the finances. Good idea for the the family.
A lake house is not a financial investment. It is a psychological and emotional investment, and it will pay dividends annually, sometimes quarterly.
And then I'm going to be calculating, what if I had held that crypto instead of buying the house? And I'm going to do the math of how much that house will ultimately cost me probably a lot more than I'm paying, right?
And you'll do the math, and then you'll say, I don't care.
You think that's what I'm going to say? Yeah. All right.
It depends how much fun you're having.
Listen, you win on that too. You're not far from the house.
Yeah.
You can meet me out there. Pearl Dog, come meet me at the crib.
Yeah.
You know, we'll go for a hike. You know, we'll use it. You know, we'll use it.
You will get to a point where you won't even be able to quantify what that house is worth to you. It will be unquantifiable.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Remind me, Siri, in 40 years.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. What else is going on?
All right, so let's some of the conversations we had yesterday. Great discussion on the podcast. Go ahead and check that out, guys. We talked about total crypto market cap making new all-time highs there. Slide 3. You know, I think this is going understated. You know, they agreed with me that crypto is irrelevant, that every single cryptocurrency in the world can go to zero tomorrow, and it will not matter to anybody who actually matters, right? Not yet anyway, right? All of crypto combined is one company, right? Nvidia, right? So it's a rounding error at best. And I don't say that as a negative. I look at that as a positive. I mean, it's so small and irrelevant. How much smaller could it get, right? So probably heading up, in my opinion. And the biggest thing that's happened this week, in my opinion, is Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. Even Batnick called it out. He's like, JC, did you bring an ETH BTC ratio? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I did. So if you want to throw that one up, that's the big story of the week. I don't think anybody's talking about it. It's Crypto Friday today. But even if it was not Crypto Friday, I'd be talking. It could be Wednesday, and I would be talking. I think we were talking about it on Wednesday. Either way, I think this is the biggest development of the week of all of the things that happen in markets. I think this is the big one, is the big breakout in the Ethereum ratio. And then here's a great discussion we had. If you want to go to the slide 8 there, Spencer, this is a great discussion we had about what sector is the most important sector in the United States or in the stock market globally, right? Josh was saying technology. Batnick was saying financials, but mostly because he didn't feel like arguing with me. He knew that I was going to say financials, but deep down he believes it's technology. But the point is that it doesn't matter. You could think financials are the most important. You could think technology is the most important. Both of them are making new all-time highs, right?
The answer to this question, like most things, is it depends on what how you define most important. Most important to what? To the stock market? Obviously, it's technology, right? In the U.S., not in the world.
Not really. Technology is the biggest,
right? Yes. Therefore,
does the biggest make it the most important?
For the stock market, yeah.
Industrials have the highest correlation with the S&P of all the sectors. Couldn't you argue that one is the most important?
Well, I don't know what it is to the Dow, and that's the most important. So I
really
can't speak to that. But somebody else like Jeff Mackey would say, no, obviously discretionary is the most important. Consumer spending drives the economy. So he would say that, and he would have a case. Somebody else like you might say the financials. You would have a case in terms of the health of our economies / overall markets, right? And the health of liquidity. Financials are important. So it depends on who you ask. But your point that it doesn't really matter is well taken, because when it's all going up, it's all going up, and most of it's going up, right?
Did you look at the Coldplay tickets?
Are they going up and to the right?
Yeah, Coldplay getting a boost in plays. Coldplay coming out of a big base recently. You know, reminds me of the Fleetwood Mac Dreams. Remember when the guy on the skateboard, right, and holding the ocean spray? Remember?
No.
Yeah, the Fleetwood Mac song. It was like a meme. The guy made like a TikTok video, and he was like on the skateboard. Come on.
No. I don't know that. I know the time where they were singing the song about each other to each other on stage. That was uncomfortable. All right. Stevie and Lindsay were singing the song, and they were like glaring at each other while they were singing it, right? But I don't know what you're referring to.
This guy, throw up slide 6 there. This guy, the video, you don't remember this guy?
Oh, that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that guy.
So this guy made a TikTok video with that song, the Fleetwood Mac song, and then Fleetwood Mac music just like exploded, like off the charts out of nowhere. I like Fleetwood Mac. I mean, I just saw a Fleetwood Mac cover band recently, a couple months ago, and Dreams, yeah. And then Fleetwood Mac was off the charts, and then that girl, the singer, she got a contract immediately. What's the girl's name? She did like a YouTube video singing that song immediately thereafter.
Rebecca Black?
No. Yeah, bring in Strazza.
Strazza, what's up, man?
Steve Strazza.
Are you talking about the girl from Fleetwood Mac?
No. Not talking about Stevie Nicks, but there was a girl on YouTube who sang it and did such a great job. She got but that's when the song was hot. So anyway, the point of me bringing up Fleetwood Mac is to reiterate that maybe Coldplay is having their Fleetwood Mac moment.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying was my point in all of that. No?
Yeah, maybe. And if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google.
No, just open your phone.
Yeah, just Google Coldplay concert or Coldplay show. You'll figure it out. It's
the internet's scary, man.
Dude, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, what idiots? Anyway.
Oh, Lainey Gardner. Lainey Gardner. You know, she was just like a girl that she had like a nice voice and would do YouTube videos singing, and she did Dreams right when it was hot, and she did such a great job. She got a contract. She's been touring. Like, there's a lot of things a lot of economics that take place with these viral moments. You know, like Ocean Spray sales went through the roof. Fleetwood Mac off the charts. Like that dude in the skateboard, like he was not a wealthy guy, and I think he got some cash. I mean, so many Lainey Gardner. There were so many people that won because of that viral moment, because of that one video. I try to think about who's gonna win. Not the CEO guy. He's not winning. But think about who's winning other than Coldplay.
The coolest part about crypto, I think, is that it is a direct way to profit off of virality. It's the stock market doesn't really translate in the same way. You had the meme stock movement with GameStop and AMC. That was a once in a lifetime thing. But with crypto, it happens all the time. Things go viral for whatever reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is, but they go. It's hard to. It's impossible. It's a black box, right? You can't quantify virality. You can't predict it. It just happens. And when it does,
Bill, great point here. Coldplay is no Fleetwood Mac. That I agree with. The Florida Gators can't agree with you there, Bill.
Okay.
Fleetwood Mac over Coldplay all day.
But this is what makes the altcoins and the meme coins and the shit coins so much fun, is that they can and they will go viral, and it is a direct way to make money off it, right? So
Steve Strazza, let's get back to the markets here. Dogecoin up 13% today. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah,
it's about time. You know, I was talking to a colleague. I was talking to Blake yesterday. He said, do you think this is the same bull market that began off the 2022 lows or a new one? And the way I would answer that is we never got a full cycle. I think we got a reset.
Small caps never broke out. Trannies never broke out.
That's right. Speculative growth never broke out. And guess what else? Anything but Bitcoin pretty much never broke out. The altcoins never had their moment. I don't think a bull market comes and goes without that. So we're there now.
Yeah, look at consumer discretionary. Never really broke out above the prior cycle highs either.
We didn't get the animal spirits the way that you should in the later stages of a bull market. I think that's happening right now.
Steve Strazza, you got a little taste of JC in the city yesterday. A little taste, no big deal. Little taste, just to see how it feels. And so what you think? You have a good time in New York City yesterday?
I had a great time. Yeah, we got into the city about 3:00. I saw my brother. I saw Patrick. I got to see JC, Perlman, Spencer. The meats were good. The meats were really good.
The meat sweats were coming down. Steve Strazza sweating at that Korean barbecue.
I walked into dinner sweating. I sweated the whole time through dinner, and I walked out of dinner still sweating. But it was great. How
was the food? You like it? I wasn't messing around.
So this morning, Rose goes, you weren't eating, so I felt like I shouldn't eat that much. Why weren't you eating more? I wanted to eat more of the meats. I'm like, why didn't you tell me I couldn't eat that much? I was just gonna make me sweat more. I was like, you could add as much as you wanted. She felt bad eating so much with me next to her not eating enough. I said, you know what? Now I feel terrible. I hope I didn't
Take her
ruin that
back.
beautiful-
Dom's Bogan. Shout out to Dom's Bogan. Shout out to
What was the
Sam
best?
Rowe for the recommendation originally.
What was the best? I think the short rib was the best. Dude, the way
Man, the short was pretty good, huh?
That was great.
I can't believe they didn't have the dried squid. That was such a bummer.
JC asked for dried squid 6 times, and I swear to God, it's the same thing that I feed my turtles, bro. Like what you're asking for, like little salty, crumbly, that's my turtle food. Like I got dried squid. I could send you some.
What was the name of this restaurant, JC?
Dom's Bogam.
He's trying to fact check me. I'm telling you.
I'll drop the link in chat. All right.
What'd you think of Schmatnik last night telling us that, and then we'll go to Kenny. What'd you think of Schmatnik last night telling us that he's not getting any calls about crypto? The animal spirits are not alive and well. Not at all.
Yeah, that was interesting. I would not have guessed that.
With speculators, the most net short ever, Bitcoin ever. Is it that's surprising to you? I don't think that was that surprising. It was interesting to hear, confirming what the data suggests.
How many cycles do we have to be through with, Bitcoin being the big leader that you just have to own, and people are still not acting accordingly? I mean, how many times do people have to learn this lesson before they?
I think a lot of investors got in 2017, if you recall. And Thanksgiving dinner in 2017 was all about crypto, and then they got smoked. And then it came back, and they got in late, and then they got smoked again. And now here we are, and it's like fool me once, fool me twice.
Yeah,
you can't get fooled again.
It all makes sense, right? Because we talk about this on here. Bitcoin is a Mag 7 stock. So it performed well with the.
I said that to somebody yesterday, and I said that yesterday to somebody, and I sounded smart, and but that's a Strazza quote.
But hold on, but the altcoins are ARK stocks, right? And they weren't working earlier this cycle. Now they are. So I think it makes plenty of sense in a time where we're coming on here talking about quantum, space, and exploration. Now the drones. I mean, think about the hot stocks that we're talking about being the best stocks in the market. This is the time and the place.
Did you listen to the pod? Did you listen to the pod? We're talking about you right at the beginning.
No, I can't wait to listen.
Like literally the first 2 minutes is all about Steve Strazza.
We didn't get home until like midnight last night, man. It was a travel day.
I left at like 9:30. You guys stayed out late?
Well, probably left at 10:30, hour after you, but it took an hour and a half to get home.
All right, Kenny, bring him out.
Kenny.
Woo! It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
Kenny Glick in the house. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Let's keep talking about crypto.
Dude, you want to know what kind of bull market sushi? I had a piece of sushi yesterday for lunch, and it was the toro, right? It was the o toro, so it was like the extra fatty bacon of the tuna, right? So like the best part of the tuna, and then it had caviar on top, and then it had gold flakes on top of that. It was
Nice.
like the most bull market piece of sushi. So the gold flakes are not necessary,
That's the Trump sushi, gold flakes on everything.
You gotta get the gold flakes. It was such a bull market bite. It was delicious. But
Nobody does gold flakes like I do. What's up?
Everything. It's a bull market, Kenny. I don't know if you heard, talking with our friends yesterday, Michael Batnick, Josh Brown, they're not seeing the animal spirits out there, the euphoria, meetings all day in the city yesterday. I didn't really get that euphoria either. People are just not buying into this rally. I mean, that's what I see from my perspective. Now, on an intraday basis, you tell me, what are you seeing?
I see there's a bid on everything. I don't see anybody selling anything, and it's impossible to be a shorter. So I'm just going with the flow. If you want to keep rallying everything, I will join in. And if you want to keep inventing new products to go 2x, 3x, I mean, are we at the 10x yet? Is there a 10x ETF yet on stocks? Because some of these Ripple ETFs Ripple went up 8 cents. The stock moved 5 points. I'm like, is that the correlation? Because some of these Ripple tracking stocks are ridiculously awesome. So, I mean, I'm all about this Ripple trade right now. And
so tell me more. So what's the ticker symbol?
XRPT. And there was another one, XXRP. That one I just been glancing at, but XRPT actually dipped the toe in yesterday, and it's pretty wild. But they opened the spread up $1 at one point, and then I don't know, it's just crazy. But I'm looking at Ripple, and it really wasn't doing as much as these tracking stocks were. But I think the tracking stocks are now moving the crypto. Who knows? Who cares? I mean, this is just the everything buy rally.
Whoa, wait. Some people, I do care, actually. I care about like the market dynamics of this whole thing.
Well, what Kenny's saying is the tail wagging the dog.
The tail's wagging the dog here.
Is it the common that's pushing the crypto? Is it the crypto pushing the common? You want to know my opinion?
That matters. That matters to me.
Well, let me tell you what my opinion is. My opinion is it's neither. It's just a demand for Ripple. And if there's an arbitrage to take advantage of between the crypto and the ETF, the market makers are going to take advantage of that arbitrage. So they close that out. So my answer, sorry to be a cop-out, but my answer is that it's neither one of those. It's just demand for Ripple.
Yeah, I traded it off VWAP. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to trade this as an independent stock. And it held VWAP and bounced off it. I'm like, okay, then. So it's working as far as I'm concerned. But the thing about Ripple, and I wanted to have this conversation with some people that know more about it, since I've owned it, everyone says, oh, well, no, that's the illegitimate one. No, that one's the scam. No, that one's the bad one. Why is it that Ripple has that connotation where it seems like, to me, they're all the same? Nothing's different between Tron and the ones I own. Again, I bought them because the names are cool. Tron, Algo, Doggy Coin, as what the old guys call it, Doggy Coin. And,
dude, up 10% today, 13% for the doggy coin.
Yeah, and listen, I'm surprised Algo X isn't doing anything, because if you're going to own fake currency built on algorithms, why don't we own Algo X? Scaramucci was talking about this thing at $2.50. I'm in at 9 cents. It's back to like 30, I think. But Algo X, baby. But
shout out to the mooch.
So if
out there, talk to me why Ripple is so hated, and which makes me want to own more of it. Because if everybody's saying something negative about something, and it's going up, that's my favorite.
If Louis were here, Kenny, he would say Ripple doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, Louis is like a very anti-Ripple, and
a lot of guys that I know are.
It's a fugazi. Good.
Yeah,
but Doggy Coin's real, right? And
what? Hey,
listen, they're all real. I mean, they're all real. It's real assets. The Doggy Coin's what? 35 billion.
Hey, listen, friends, I'm not joking. I'm meeting with my guys. I'm putting out a coin, and it's going to be awesome. All right? Just if you buy it, you can't sell it unless you find somebody else to buy it from you.
What is it going to be? Is it going to be Glick USD or
no, it's
HTB?
It's going to be called Goop Coin. Goop Coin. GOU up. Goop. Go up coin.
And what does it do?
It goes up. Exactly. There you go. That's its purpose, and that's all
the white paper. The white paper it's called Goop because if you separate that, it's go up, and that's what it does. It goes up.
There you go. I'm in. I'm all about it. Hey, listen, this is the market we're in. So I told my son, about a week and a half ago. He's like, so what should I do? Should I keep buying stocks? I'm like, just buy the Qs, and everything's going to be all right. So I looked into his account, and he's got QS in there. I'm like, what is this? I was like, what is this? He's like, what? You told me to buy the Qs. He's up 100%.
Yeah, I was just going to say, QuantumScape has gone crazy.
He bought the Qs. He bought QS.
That's wonderful.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Shout out to the kid. Shout out.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know
what next pick.
Yeah. Can I get the next one, please?
If you're out there listening, fella, remember we were buying quantum pharmaceuticals because quantum stocks were ripping. The stock was $3. Do you know it went to 40? QuantumScape is another one of those. It's a battery company. They have nothing to do with quantum, but apparently somehow they do. I don't know. Everybody's got something to do with quantum right now, but this is the market we're in, and I love it. And by the way, SRAD hit 30, so everybody, there you go.
By the way, on the podcast yesterday, they loved the strategy. The guys loved the strategy of buying companies with animals in their names.
Oh,
Red Cat standing out, big standout there. Of course, the Data Dog.
What I told you guys.
AI.
I like the idea that you're getting into the drone stocks. I'm in the Mob. The Mob is the Israeli drone stock, and It has no options, so the shorters don't have any way to hedge themselves, which is an interesting play. And again, it's still under all-time highs. Most of these stocks have, some of these have gone parabolic. Yet Mob hasn't gone parabolic, and a couple of little guys. I know you guys were in the UMAC, and there's another one, PRZO. Some of the lesser names haven't exploded to the upside yet, but I do like the drone, your drone conversation from the other day too.
All right, Kenny, that's a great story. Thanks for sharing it. We'll let you run, guys. Hitthebid.com.
Ripple to 50. Let's go. Ah!
Kenny is there right now doing his thing, live trading. And the only way to get his trades is to be in the room. So,
by the way, ASTS all-time highs yesterday too. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, we're all swing traders now, baby. Bull market. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be careful.
See ya.
Adios.
Oh boy.
The one Kenny Glick.
It's a good story. Yeah, I remember everybody loves QuantumScape at 100. That was years ago. It's at 13 today. But
Solana's really the one. It's really just Solana right now.
Solana summer.
You should own so much Solana right now if you're into crypto. I think the catch up there is going to be massive. I think we'll look back at the end of this cycle and Solana will have been the best performer of the big guys again. So
I was just telling Spencer that I had to sell some crypto today because I got to buy this goddamn house over on the lake. And
are you selling your punks?
I think I'm going to sell one of them.
Really?
I think I'm
for a
down
payment. Crypto punk.
They're a lot. They're 150 grand this morning. I mean, I could use some of that cash for the house. The point is, my point to Spencer is that, am I going to be calculating over the years how much the house is actually costing me because of what I sold to buy the house?
Yes. Yeah, of course. You're going to anchor.
That's going to suck, right? Yeah.
That's nowhere to go with your life, son.
Or you can brag about how you banged a crypto punk for a down payment on a house.
Dude, that's what you do.
I think that's more
you turned a silly cartoon on the internet into a house.
Funny money into real money. Nice work.
What gets worse, it's not even a down payment. We're buying the house cash. So I got to bring out more, and then I'll work on the financing and see if we can start putting some stuff in. But yeah, so what are you gonna do?
I think I support you selling your punks to buy the house. I don't so much support you borrowing against your punks.
Well, I would, but they're only like 30, 90-day loans, so it's not like.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that anyway?
Right.
Okay, that makes more sense.
This is what you do. You know how like people name their vacation homes, right? Like Oasis at the Sea or whatever. Like you have to name your home.
Those houses in Fairfield.
You have to put a sign on the front of your home, and
CryptoPunk 714.
There we go. That's the name.
That's the one. I have it for sale right now. If anybody wants to go buy CryptoPunk 714, as fun fact, it's only one of 300. My CryptoPunk 714, one of 3,840 female punks.
Great.
I think that's a great idea, Spencer.
Okay,
Morgan,
let's talk about something real. We had Netflix reporting last night, and we had Jeff Mackey here to talk about it. So let's bring him on, and let's talk Netflix. Things that matter, right?
Jay, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
I mean, this is pretty professional, guys.
Nice show you got going here.
Mr. Jeff Mackey, how are you, sir?
Hello, gentlemen. I'm the man doing well. I want to talk more about Spencer's names for his guest houses. I want to hear about Kenny's kids picks, basically. Like, Kenny's a good guy, but where the hell's your kid? Wake him up.
That's right.
Let's get going here. Let's come on. It's just because it's summer, get the kid out of bed. Now, Netflix was they were good. They were cromulent, as they say on The Simpsons. It was goodish. The stock's doubled over the last year. Netflix has become, as I told you here, JC, it's a consumer staple. It's give me my freaking cornflakes, my generic milk, and my Netflix, and pry them out of my cold dead hands. It's just fine. They did great, but you need more than currency gains to ramp a stock like this. Kind of even in this market, especially in this market, when we're in a market where you name your second home after your favorite kind of shit coin that crippled your money. And so That's terrific, but that's not going to drive kind of a big dog like Netflix. They're at the Apple stage of their lives where people expect excellence. They delivered excellence, and you're getting a collective. That's fine. And
Yeah, it's
then
been
that's kind of the appropriate
really
reaction.
quiet overnight, right? The stock, I mean.
Super, and absolutely no chatter. And I mean, if you go into that call and you kind of listen to what Netflix has done, it's like we're a global broadcaster,
Yeah.
which just 10 years ago, holy effing cow, like just it seems impossible. Not even ESPN really tries that. And Netflix just sort of did it with a shrug. It's like, hey, how do you like our Korean game shows? Are you liking those? I mean, it's I want to make myself a boy band real life show in Korea, and then we'll just have an Indian show. Well, we're just going to roll this crap out everywhere. Squid Games, huge hit. Who saw that coming? Absolutely no one. People telling you they did lied about it. The show is hot garbage, but people are watching it like crazy. But you're just it's a mature company. Maturing companies probably shouldn't double every year, and that's where we're with Netflix. I came up with some better plays, wrote about them for members this week. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a short, but if you're looking for a hot place to put money, I'll pass.
Yeah, so just for the numbers that they beat on the EPS, they beat on the revenue, the guidance came in higher, or the guidance was raised. Actually, they raised their guidance for the full year 25. The Q3 guidance also came in. It all came in above estimates across the board. Remember, they're not doing the subscriber count anymore because they're all about the profitability and the ad revenue, which by the way they said would double. They said that would double this year.
Yeah.
Ad revenue. Granted, it's a new segment for them, so it's not doubling from a whole lot.
And
but
they're doing AI stuff, Spence. I mean, it's they raised all that stuff, but that was basically currency. And so 56% of the revenues come in foreign currencies. They take them in foreign currencies, and then they put them into dollars. Takes more dollars to buy those currencies because the dollar's been weak, and you come up with a revenue beat, which is like just all of that sentence is just hot garbage if you're going to trade a momentum stock. Like that's just noise. It's people don't tune in. I want Kenny's stock. I want his kid's stock picks much more than I want to hear me talk about foreign currency translation and having that be the reason that I'm guiding.
Hold on, let's back up a second.
good point.
So Jeff, Netflix, as we all know, is technically a communication stock. You've been in the camp that Netflix is much more of a consumer staples stock. What'd you say the other day? People are going to cancel people stop drinking before they cancel their Netflix. What did you say?
I think they for sure will. I mean, I've kind of thrown out a lot of metaphors. We're gonna, it's cut off a limb. Give me, take your pinky, whatever. It's people need to stream stuff, and they kind of in the streaming ecosystem they work backwards. And Netflix is the one they're going to keep. They're going to get rid of Peacock. I'm a Peacock member. These are the golden days. Of
Why
Peacock.
are you a Peacock member? Because of that one football game?
Tour de France.
Oh yeah,
it's where else are you going to watch a 4-hour bike race, JC? I'll tell you what, nowhere. Not on Apple TV, that's for sure. Not on your mainstream broadcasting. But if you want to see some outstanding European tiny men with enormous lungs and hearts race up mountains on bikes, Peacock is your place to go. If you want to see 18 hours a day of British Open coverage, Peacock is your choice. It'll be on my TV all day. But you know what? Push comes to shove in an economic downturn, I'm probably going to stick with Netflix because I can binge like 9 million different things and watch boxing.
And it's the same. And Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw, and they announced, which this is clearly being overlooked and called the People's Super Bowl, the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings on Christmas. Remember when the NBA used to kind of own Christmas Day TV, and you just watch it, you'd hear the John Tesh in your head already, and you just kind of have that on in the background, give each other gifts, and let's watch some basketball. That Netflix just kind of stole that. They said, you know what, we're going to be Christmas football now, and they're showing it's Dallas versus Washington for people that like kind of crappy, terrible teams, and then the main event of the People's Super Bowl, as I said, the Detroit Lions versus the great Minnesota Vikings. It's their year, but but we're at that point in Netflix where it's like, you know what, we're a staple. How excited are you going to get from that a multiple basis? It's like they just stole Christmas, and it kind of doesn't matter. That's going to be culturally relevant. That's great. It's huge live programming. They're leaning into it, and it'll be an event that people will be on Twitter talking about the game.
I admit, I didn't realize that Netflix, that their top tier was $25 a month. And plus you can add members on top of it. So there are people probably that are paying Netflix like $40 a month, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But in my head, it'll always be like $7 a month because that's what it cost for so long. It was like, and they didn't raise prices for a long time. And now the past few years they have been, obviously. So, well, and I pay. I'm on the basic tier. I'm on the ad tier, right? So I pay like $8 a month. But yeah, 25 is a. I mean, hey, they can do it. People will pay it, right? I'm sure you pay it. So,
And they're expanding their lead, and so I want to buy the arms dealer in the streaming wars. I want to buy the guys that are selling Netflix content. You can't really get a hold of the studios, but there are ways to invest in this that don't involve buying Netflix, and that's kind of where
right.
I'm looking.
That's right. And those ideas that you mentioned were dropped yesterday? 2 days ago. 2 days ago, right?
2 days ago. I like to get ahead of these releases, Spencer.
For the members of Mackey's Retail Roundup. If you're not in that, I just dropped a link in chat right now. Jeff, and I heard / saw you added a new position to the portfolio yesterday. Is that true?
We got to soup things up a little, Spencer. Yeah, we didn't come here to kind of dick around and be mediocre. And so, yeah, I added a brand new name. I got rid of an old one, explained why, kind of walked through the thinking, and I just been kind of upgrading. It's a little bit riskier, but it's kind of exciting. It's a good niche play in a growing market, and we're not going to have to rely on like foreign currency translation. Yeah, Netflix, when they change their metrics, holy cow, stamp a red light on it. Like I want a company that's just going to go out there and beat the crap out of the existing estimates straight up without having to adjust for currency. And so this is one of those names. It's not going to be in the headwinds of the tariff wars, which is where the consumer names are just absolutely locked right now. And so we lightened up our risk a little bit and kind of got more aggressive, made a new trade. So I'm excited about it.
Busy week for you. And then things are going to pick up now next week with we're into the heavy part of the earnings season, right? So I haven't looked. Actually, you know what? That's not true. I have looked far ahead. What do we have next week that maybe is on Jeff's radar?
We're done with banks. We're giddy about that.
Yeah, right. Next week we have. We got Alphabet next week. We got Tesla. We got
the Uber action next week. Is that not next week?
Do I see Uber
next week or week after?
I think that's the week after. Actually, no. Next week is like a lot of staples. Next week. That's interesting. But
staples are fine. Earnings season builds up, and it's a big parade.
Yeah.
You start with the banks, and the banks can report whatever the hell they want because they've got so many reserves and they've got so many different things, and that's just kind of your econ dork insight into whatever the banks thinks is going on. And then you get into staples, and then you get into kind of the edgier, more exciting companies as you go. But that'll be fine.
Couple of the sexier restaurant stocks: Domino's, Chipotle. So
Texas Roadhouse coming up.
Right.
That sounds like a night. Texas Roadhouse and chill sounds like, just sign me up for a Friday, Saturday, 3 nights a week.
Dude, basically. Texas Roadhouse. I mean, Mackie, we've been talking about this,
And people think we're kidding. And you know what? There's a little bit of irony there. It's probably not, if it's our prom, like if it's the married guy version of prom, that's probably not our choice. But if I want to pay for prom, that's a pretty good choice. That's a pretty good way to kind of bankroll it. Texas Roadhouse is a beast, man. It's people like steaks. And you saw in the consumer data yesterday, people are going out to eat. So this whole freaking recession that's coming, you want to talk about what's boosting the rally? It's the fact that no one's really that morbid. No one's sitting around bitching about it. Never listen to what people tell the pollsters and the economists when someone calls you up and says, "Are you financially cautious?" What do you guys say? No, I'm a huge dickhead. I just bought a brand new boat that I named it to Live Forever, and I'm trying to think of a good name for my second house. I need a name for my beach house. I'm calling it Shangri-La Cash Rainfall. Come on. You're going to say you're conservative. So
I've never gotten that phone call. Maybe it could be because I don't have a landline.
I didn't get the phone call because I was out on a ridiculously expensive cruise and just having a good time and spending money and watching a lot of other people doing it too in absolutely jam-packed airports. Americans have kind of filled the gap, and you're seeing a real tweaking in the flows. It's a true thing that we're seeing less foreign travel than we've seen in years past. But man, Americans are consumption machines. And when we feel okay about the economy, we spend, we buy crap. And that's what's happening right now in numbers. It's not a huge tailwind, but the consumer names that are actually kind of hot and sexy and growing are going to get a bid. It's just going to take a little shoving. There's winners and losers. It's what we used to call a stock picker's market back when I was hanging out with Louis Rukeyser in the 70s.
Jeff, I wanted to get back to the Netflix quickly. The Monday Night Raw, the wrestling, is that working for them? Having that partnership, is that good?
It's working hugely. They're in the middle of negotiations. UFC is up for bidding right now. They're all owned by the same company, and which is a
TKO.
TKO, genius little roll up, a spin off, run by Ari Emanuel, who's it's as famous as agents kind of get. He's a good deal maker, and they own WWF and they own WWE, whatever, and UFC. UFC's up for bidding, so Netflix is a little cagey. UFC's up for bidding right now, and they're going to chop that sucker up into about 10 different parts. And like I said, they're an arms dealer in the streaming wars. And so every one of their pieces of business is up for sale. They make $1.2 billion off WWE just by airing parts of it on Netflix, parts of it on various different channels, but they've doubled that stream. The demand for live content is huge because that's the only way you're going to get kind of cultural relevance. Even Squid Games already, the latest season of Squid Games is the third most watched Netflix show ever already. I wouldn't watch it if you held me down and stapled my eyelids open. I mean, it just sounds like
You know
hell on
what? You
earth,
know
but
what's
man,
really
it's
interesting
incredible.
about the Squid Games? I was reading a book recently. I forget which one, and they were talking about that. And it wasn't like Netflix was, such a genius that they knew that this was going to work. They just invested in a bunch of Korean programming, and then this one just hit. Like it was like one of those things where they were just spraying Korean programming, and this one they nailed it. It's fascinating discussion that I was listening to. Or reading, I forgot.
And for really weird reasons too. It's hard to kind of get you into the zeitgeist on stuff like that. But once you watch the first season, and you're kind of like, oh, what's this hot crap? And then about 5 episodes in, you're watching the written translation version versus what the people are saying, and you're kind of noticing the differences between the way they went about the voiceovers and stuff. It was easy to dive into that stuff. Huge hit, huge retention, and that's why, to Spencer's earlier point, ad revenues are up so much. Because you have shockingly engaged viewers. People actually watch their Netflix. I'll put something live on TV and it'll just be there. My old house, not to crap on them, I got no ill will, but you put CNBC out, that's on in the background of literally probably 90% of the financial world's TV sets when they aren't watching the Tour de France, which commands huge respect. But no one's really engaged with it. But if you're actually watching Squid Games, reading the translation and listening to what the difference is between the words, that's a person who's going to actually pay attention to the ad. And Netflix is doing a great job. We talked a lot last night about using a lot of AI to kind of optimize the ads, to personalize them so you and I don't see the exact same ads. Spencer would see one for a service that'll name your second house. Other people will see one that just will help them buy baby food. You personalize those ads, that's worth a lot of bucks. It's a great business. It's an amazing business. It's not a business that's going to grow insanely fast. And so again, you come down to, man, my eyes glaze over when you tell me that currency adjustments are how your revenues are going higher.
Yes, isn't that just the sign of a mature company, though? I mean, they are not.
Yeah.
We
won, man. We absolutely won. Get the tattoo, plant the flag, and look for your next opportunity. They totally won. And man, there are haters out there like crazy. At one point, they just were kind of dedicated to being like a DVD spin-off model. Like they've done some crazy stuff. So success was not preordained by anyone. There's a little luck, a little genius. But man, they managed to figure this out before anyone else did.
They certainly put themselves in a position to get lucky, right? And I think that goes understated. Like they sprayed Korean programming and nailed one, but they put themselves in that position.
And in every single Netflix guy's biography, the vanity biography they come out with, it'll be like, I noticed an opportunity in Korean broadcasting when I was abroad eating kimchi one year in Seoul, and it's like, yeah, sure, you got a little lucky there, fella. But Godspeed. But at this point now,
throw up the slide too there, Spencer. So this one, I was watching episodes of Monday Night Raw with the kids because my kids are really into the Undertaker and the Ultimate Warrior. So I'm trying to show them some more contemporary wrestling. Look at its great chart. The chat's going wild. Great long-term chart in TKO.
My audio cut, dudes.
Not bad, right, Jeff?
Wait, did your audio drop? I think his AirPods may have died.
Oh, these
wait,
AirPods.
What I was gonna say, JC, was
we
that
lost you. We lost you, Jeff.
Are we back?
Yeah, I'm not sure he can hear us. What I was gonna say, JC, was I just Googled it. You can hear us?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. Okay, great. I guess we're on a delay, but your AirPods or something's going on. But
So, Jeff, the reason I was going to ask is, should I go to SummerSlam in 2 weeks?
Hell yes. Absolutely. A stone cold hell yes, we're going to SummerSlam. I've enjoyed wrestling. Freaking it's a dirty little kind of
in the Meadowlands. It's right there.
It's right there, and you'll have a good time, and it'll be kind of family friendly with a little bit of sauce. It'll be pretend violence. It's awesome. Wrestling kind of comes and goes. It's actually a fascinating part of history of the world.
The tickets are
the
off
kids
the
are
charts
stoked,
expensive.
right? Oh yeah, oh completely. Oh, you're fighting with it. It's celebrities are bidding for this crap, man. It's real live ones beyond even
decent seats for SummerSlam is going to cost me a piece.
What?
Yeah.
Enjoy. Godspeed.
Right.
It's a good time.
Jeff Mackey, thank you so much for joining, guys. If you want to get Jeff's free emails, I just dropped the link to that in the chat as well. He puts out free content several times a week. Great commentary on anything related to the consumer, whether it's retail, whether it's Netflix, whether it's restaurants, cruises, doesn't matter. Guy's got his finger on the pulse. Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, great to be here.
All right.
Thank you, Jeff. Netflix, the consumer staple stock.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say they shut down the K-pop ETF earlier this year, which may have been a sign.
Sign to be buying Korea. Korean stocks making new highs. Korean barbecue is hot these days. You should have seen Strazza sweating. Boy, was it hot yesterday. Shout out to Korea. That soju was real good. You guys didn't like the soju? I like it.
By the way, JC, I don't know if you've been on Twitter this morning, but there are several people correcting you that yes, you do shoot soju. So I was
shooting mine. I was shooting mine. You're supposed to.
No, you sip it. Sip it like
I don't know. I
just sip it.
I don't know anything about it.
Listen, you can take shots of Jameson. I like to sip it.
A lot of whiskey last night.
My old age, you don't have to be in such a rush.
Okay.
Listen, I want in on this Netflix conversation. There was a shout out for Love Island, F-Boy Island, and F-Girl Island. The HBO version is much better. No, what are you thinking at? Bachelor is like an incredible show, and there have been all of these offshoots, like reality TV world. These like Love Island shows. They're really fantastic. It's really good reality TV. Incredibly entertaining.
I've seen it through osmosis because it gets played in my house. Not that I watch it, but it's on TV. Great. So I absorb it, and
I'm an avid viewer of these reality television shows, and I got to tell you guys, I have been really into like the true crime documentary stuff lately. I don't know, maybe I'm sick in the head, but I'm so in it, and I just watched, I think, the most mind-blowing true crime documentary. Just came out on Netflix. Shout out Netflix. It's called Amy Bradley is Missing.
Okay.
Dude, I was glued to the television screen. I've never heard a story like this. I'd never heard about this story. This girl was taken from a cruise ship in 1998 and put in some sort of trafficking situation around the Caribbean. And she keeps getting spotted out there 30 years later, telling people that she was taken. And yeah, it's really sad. It's great. I don't know how they got her off the cruise ship, but I mean, it was well done. It was absolutely incredible. It's a 3-part series. You got to check it out. Amy Bradley.
All right. I'll have to check
it out. Sounds depressing, dude.
My next watch, my next watch is going to be the Netflix has that series about like disasters or whatever, and there was the thing on the poop cruise, which was like almost 10 years ago, if you can believe it, or more than that.
I watched that.
I have not watched it yet, but I'm going to watch the poop cruise. If you've watched the poop cruise thing on Netflix, tell me how it was, because I want to watch it.
Listen,
Mackey's chiming in. Mackey says the poop
Jeff says it. Jeff says it was amazing. All right, great.
You got to watch it. You got to watch it. Watch the Amy Bradley, and we're basically just talking JC's book, because for as long as I've known this man, he's been saying cruises are not the way. And seriously, like they're like little cities with no police. Like the shit that goes on these cruise ships, it's run by a corporation.
I don't understand why you would get on a boat with a bunch of people who hang out in Times Square and then spend a week with them. And then when it's time for dinner, instead of going to dinner in the country that you're in beautiful Greece or in Italy or Norway, wherever you are, you got to get back on the fucking boat with the people from Times Square and hang out with them instead of the country that you're trying to visit. I don't understand. Why would anybody want to do that?
You're making good points, my friend.
To each their own.
It sounds terrible. I would just boycott. Be like, you know what? Fucking leave. I'm staying right here. I'm gonna have dinner with these wonderful Greek people, and you guys take off without me. I'll meet you at the next country.
And for all
not everyone goes to cruises that are good, that are two countries with great cuisine. You know what I mean? Jeff was on an Alaskan cruise. Does Alaska have like great cuisine up there? You know,
Where do you think the Japanese get their salmon for the sushi? They get it from Alaska.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like a good cruise every 5 or 10 years.
Alaskan king crab is the best crab.
You got to watch this documentary, guys.
I'm not going to watch it.
Okay.
Mind blowing. Spencer, you
the
got
last thing I'm going to do is sit there and watch a documentary about people shitting on a cruise.
No, the one about the girl getting taken.
I'm not watching that one either.
The cruise line helped cover it up too. It's really
wait till you have as many kids as I do. You're not going to be watching that crap either. You're going to be going to
Bradley.
sleep.
All right, I'll check it out.
All right, let's do a little. I got a sad note for ending on a sad, but sad and happy at the same time. So why don't we hit that?
Okay.
If you want to throw up a slide 2, got a sad message this morning from Michael Kraus. Michael Kraus, former chief technical strategist at JP Morgan, retired. This guy absolutely nailed the bottom in 2009, counting Elliott waves. I'll never forget that. Mr. Kraus is sick. It's not curable. He's got some lung issues that he's struggling with, but he reached out this morning, and I appreciate that. He said he's had a great life. I was a part of that. This is someone who I wish I got to know better early on in my career. This is someone I've gotten to know better. I was a fanboy of his, and then after he retired, then we've been communicating more often. But sad message from Mr. Michael Kraus. But he did confirm that he's lived a great life, and he's very happy, and he's just reaching out to some people. He's the man. I mean, he really is the man. So big shout out to Michael Kraus. Do your thing, man. Anything you need, reach out.
That's awesome.
Well said. I feel like we just did a recess for 10 minutes, so I'm all out of stuff. I got nothing.
I could talk about more television shows if you guys want, but
dude, this guy fucking nailed that 2009 bottom. Nailed it. Nailed it.
The 666, that one?
Dude, with the counting the waves, 5 waves down. He started with the 3 of 3 in the middle and worked his way out. That's where I learned that from, this guy.
JC, a lot of shout outs in the chat for Southeast Asia. A lot of us put on some, added exposure to this region of the world just recently, and these trades are really working. It's not just emerging. It's not just China. It's not just this emerging market or that emerging market. They're all joining the party.
Who's making more money on the C Limited? Is it you or me? Who's making more money? Probably you, right?
Probably me, just because.
Probably you, because you have shorter data.
Time. We bought less time.
Yeah, so we have more time. So maybe in the end, I make more money than Strazza. Either way, nice trade, Steve. Shout out to Sam. Nice trade, Sam. Nice trade, JC. C Limited, not a shipping stock.
Not a shipping stock.
Not a shipping
Nothing
stock.
to do with the C.
Nothing.
Actually, it makes sense. Is their ticker SE for Southeast? Is C for Southeast Asia?
Could be.
Is that why they're called C?
That does sound
so.
that sounds right.
I never realized that.
Hey, question: Why is
C Limited SEA though? So they're referencing the C.
Southeast Asia.
Why is Vanguard's Why is Vanguard's S&P ticker VOO?
I don't know, and I never liked that. I don't like it.
Really?
I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. I'm a spy guy.
I'll tell you.
Spy guy. Why?
I'll tell you.
Oh, I didn't know there's
Roman numerals. 500.
Ooh, very good,
cool.
Spencer, with the fun facts.
Big brain.
Coming in hot this morning with the fun facts.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's get out of here. We got Larry Thompson going live. Thompson's 2 cents at 5 o'clock right here on the channel. But that's it for us right here. So thanks for watching. Drop us a like. We'll be back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. Get outside. And yeah.
Sell your doubles. Sell your double. Have no trouble.
Don't go on a cruise.
Don't go on a
cruise.
cruise.
Pick a country.
When he cruising drunk.
Run it. I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then I go